in the 2025 model, they made some slight changes to the design. Now, they completely redesigned it in 2022, and I made a video of it then. And there was a couple things that, you know, I thought needed to be improved. And they made some really good changes, upgrades for sure, and addressed some of the issues I had originally. But you still have that traditional truck feel. It feels like with the hydraulic power steering, the body on frame, solid feeling truck. It maintains that traditional truck feel. So it nails that as far as like on every level. If you want a traditional truck feel when you're driving, you'll definitely get it with this. And also this one has, like, it's powerful, it's strong, it has a strong feeling engine, and the transmission delivers that power nicely. The ride quality is good. It has a little bit of, since it's a regular truck, you know, you have that little bit of a, you know, wheel hop feel in a way. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of people want that truck feel. But it's fairly quiet. I hear a little bit of noise coming in from like wind or whatever. But overall, it feels tight and solid, and there's no, like, the engine noise isn't coming in, the road noise isn't coming in much, and just hear a little bit of wind noise. So as far as the noise level, it's good, and it just kind of feels like you're in a solid structure, you know. And with the hydraulic power steering system, you feel a little bit more connected with the road and the steering, which is a little bit. It's not as easy to turn as electric power steering, but it's what a lot of people are used to. So that's what they want. And now they've expanded the screen over here. They've made some slight cosmetic changes on the outside as well, and some functional changes. But as far as driving it, it is roomy enough, I think, for most people. If you're a little bit over 6 feet tall, shouldn't really have a problem. It delivers that nice. The features tend to work well, and fairly simple controls. There's not overly complex buttons and multiple screens. I mean, you have the larger screen over here, but it's basically the height. You use it the same way. It just gives you a larger view. And you also have physical buttons, physical volume knob, traditional gauges. So yeah, it's giving the people that want that traditional truck, non-complex truck, basically, that they can not have too much of a learning curve as far as driving it and everything. This one, once again, delivers it good. Braking is very confident. It feels really good. Smooth, not overly grabby. Full control. Really good acceleration. Feels good. And now it's one of those type of vehicles where if you push the accelerator all the way to the floor, it just kind of like blows past the RPM range that's most effective. So if you just put it right before, all the way down, just like in that 3/4 range, it feels stronger and it feels really good. And that's where the normal driving range RPMs, when you're driving, that's where they are anyway. So that's where it's intended to, have that power and that range. So yeah, deliver. That was one of the first things I was impressed with, was the power delivery and how powerful it was. And I was able to pass and accelerate and merge with no problem. It felt really good. I felt, confident in passing and everything. So, some vehicles, they feel underpowered, and you're like, I don't feel very comfortable passing right now because I don't know if I can pass the person, in an amount of time that I need to. So this one, doesn't really have that problem. And it stays fairly level on cornering. So yeah, I think they did a great job on the Frontier for the customer base that they're going for, the target market and everything. I think they did a great job. It looks good. It feels like a truck. It looks like a truck. It has solid, cargo and towing capacities and all that stuff, and it's very usable. So if you want a traditional truck that's not overly complex, definitely take this one for a test drive, and I think you will be impressed with it. The transmission delivers the power nicely. It just shifts fine and you know, there's no like lag or anything like that. It's just really good. Nissan for the 2025 model has changed a little bit on the Frontier. Now this is the 2025 with the SL Crew Cab long wheelbase V6. And it's in the bluestone exterior color, which looks really good. Blue is a really awesome color on trucks, I believe. And especially this is kind of like electric blue, looking really nice. So some of the changes are here on the front as far as the grille area. Has the multi-reflector headlight system for both the headlights and the fog lights. Now it has this kind of like a metallic plastic right here grille. It's like a gray. And then there's some matte black as well. Recovery hooks there at the bottom. And then it has the gray wheels, 17-inch alloy wheels. This one has the 360 camera system, so it has the views all around the vehicle. There's cameras in the front, the sides, and the back. And it does a pretty good job. I'll show you that when we get in the inside. So there's the crew cab, plenty of room there in the back seat. It does have the privacy glass as well. Body colored handles, side mirrors are also body colored. Then they went ahead and just kind of put this matte black right in here to cover up that pillar, kind of solidifying the glass a little bit. And it has the long wheelbase as well, or the long bed. Here in the back, it does have full LED taillights, all looking good. The camera is in the very center for the backup camera, and it's integrated well and in a high position. It has a towing package with the 4 and 7-way outlets here above the bumper, so it stays accessible, easy to get to, and relatively clean. Parking sensors back here as well. Let's go ahead and look at the bed. So this one has a spray-in bed liner, and then it has the fixed tie downs here on the ends, and then that cleat system that gives you an adjustable tie down all the way across that whole rail. There's also bed lights here as well, and right here is a power inverter as well. So this one is maximum 400 watts, 120 volts. So yeah, very usable bed. Now this part right here is a plastic material, composite, and that's the spray-in bed liner over the metal. The length of the bed right here to the end is about 6 foot 1 inch, something like that. And then to the end of the tailgate is about 8 feet. The width of the bed is about 44 inches. So right in there. So not quite wide enough to fit a full sheet of plywood. The height of the bed is about 21 inches or so. The fuel door is here on the driver's side and has a traditional cap, tether, and a little place to hang the cap here, the tether in that area while you're pumping gas. It uses regular fuel, so you don't have to use premium or anything like that. The doors go to the bottom of the vehicle here, and they have a seal at the bottom as well, keeping that threshold, which is relatively small, but keeping it relatively clean. So the inside of the doors are mostly a hard touch surface, except for right here around the arm. So this is all soft touch, like a vinyl type material. The rest of it is a hard touch surface. This one has the power seat here on the passenger side. It doesn't go up and down, it just goes forward and back, tilt the back. And these leather seats are looking really nice. It has like a carbon fiber design here on the end, stitching. These are heated as well. And stitching there feels really good. These are actually pretty good seats. Not overly done, not overly bolstered or anything like that, but they look good and they feel good. There's the floorboard here. Decent amount of leg room. Locking glove compartment. Kind of small glove compartment though. Smooth plastic on the inside. Doesn't take much to fill it up. And then all this is a semi-soft material with the stitching right here. Has a handle. This one has a sunroof as well. Now if you see the back door, you can see the front door is larger than the back door. This is the crew cab, but it's still a substantial amount of space back here. The swing of the door is decent as far as getting in and out of the vehicle. So basically the back door is very similar to the front. It has the soft touch here and here. The rest of it's a hard touch. And the back seat is basically a bench seat. It does have the car seat attachments here on the outer portions. There's a cup holders armrest here. USB-A, USB-C ports, also a 400-watt power inverter here as well as the bed. And the floor back here is almost completely flat. A little bit of a hump there in the middle, but not too bad. There's a mat pocket on the back of the passenger seat, but not the driver's seat. The seat can lift up. Actually, both of them can lift up, but this one has a little bit of storage space here as well. Now, you can take this plastic container out if you want to just have more open space, but this is really good for keeping things in place and not rolling around on you. Now, if you lift that seat up, it just has the subwoofer there, so it's not storage there. But you can lift the seats up to kind of add a little bit of space here. If you fold the seats forward, this is where the anchors are for the car seats. There's also the jack for the spare tire and tools. So yeah, there's a little bit more space behind the seats. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. And you can see it has the accelerator, brake pedal, little tiny footrest there, not all that great, but it's okay. There's a foot actuated parking brake as well. Let's take a look under the hood. Some insulation under the hood. There's also seals across the back. Insulation on the entire firewall there. No wonder why it's a fairly quiet vehicle. It's sealed up pretty good. The battery is easy to get to. And seems like there's a pretty good amount of room under here. This one has the V6, 3.8 liter V6, putting out 310 horsepower, 281 pound-feet of torque. Now, it doesn't have any kind of turbochargers or anything like that. It is a direct injection engine, runs on regular fuel, is paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now, it's a part-time 4-wheel drive, where default will be 2-wheel drive, but you can manually select 4-wheel drive high or 4-wheel drive low. Most of the interior is about the same. It has the normal controls here, volume for the radio, the cruise control on this side. It doesn't have any kind of lane keep assist system. It just says adaptive cruise control. So yeah, it's fairly straightforward. There is physical gauges there on the outside. The inner portion has a little screen in which you can change information here using these buttons. Kind of scroll through, get pitch and roll, off-road stuff, auxiliary gauges, driving computers, fuel economy, whatever the radio is doing, digital compass, speed limit signs, driving aids, tire pressure, and then the status of your stop-start feature, and then your settings here, which you can scroll through and get more information here. So we can go down and adjust everything. So we go to meter settings, main menu selection, so you can choose the one that you want on your main menu. So yeah, it's pretty basic. Once you get it set up, you don't have to go through any of this stuff. It's just there to use it if you need to. But there's my default there, not too overly advanced. Now it shows you the status of the 4-wheel drive system, the status of the stop-start feature, what gear you're in, odometer, outside temperature, last speed limit sign you passed, distance to empty, and the gauges are pretty much self-explanatory there. Windshield wiper controls are there, turn signals are here, headlight switch, dimmer switch for the interior gauges are here. You have a tow mode. Then you have some different, this is for the parking sensors. You have a cargo lamp, downhill descent, traction control off is down there as well. So they kind of have all these layers of buttons down here. You can also turn on the power inverters there. There is a tilt and telescoping steering column. There's a storage compartment right up here and has like a rubber bottom to it so things don't slide around as much. It's really good for gloves, you know, in wintertime, throw them up there. Now it has a larger screen, so it's expanded this way. Now you notice it's kind of like the normal screen and then just have this little side thing. But you can on, say, a navigation map, if you want to expand it, you can make it go across the entire screen, which is very wide. So it's a pretty good size widescreen, and I like to have a little digital clock there. That's nice, and the date. And you hit the menu button, and there's the main menu. It's kind of like a cell phone where it has different icons. You have the icons here at the bottom. There's the audio. You have AM, FM, satellite radio, Bluetooth audio. You always go back here. It's all the map, and there's the settings. So yeah, it's pretty much, if you're familiar with Nissan, this system is pretty much straightforward. And then you have the physical buttons down here, physical volume knob, tune to the stations, menu, audio, map, all the shortcuts here. And I like the way it has a camera button, because when you push that button, it pops up this camera, and it's very well done. The resolution, the clarity isn't all that great, and also it doesn't take advantage of the full size of the screen. But because you notice this like's a little bit scrunched this way, you know, it could be expanded out so you can have a better view. But it does have the top-down view and the front view. When you put it in reverse, it'll give you the rear view with active guidelines. You can see the clarity of this. The cameras aren't that great, but you know, it does give you the top-down view and everything, and you can see cars and everything. But for a 2025 model, it should be a little bit better, a lot better actually. But I like the way the camera button is right there, easy to get to. Four-way flashes are here. Climate control is down here. It's a dual zone. Driver and passenger temperatures can be adjusted separately. Mode is where you want the air to blow. There's the fan speed, recirculate the air or not. And then you have the front rear defrosters here on this side. Then you have a USB-A, USB-C, heated seats, high and low, so it's two-stage. You also have a heated steering wheel. It's on or off. Parking sensors here, which you can turn off. And then you have this little storage compartment here. And it has like somewhat of a rubbery floor. Things might still slide around on you, but this does come out. You can take it out, clean it, put it back in. These little things kind of look like handles, but they're not really that like rounded off your hands, but they kind of neat looking. Cup holders are there. The shifter is pretty straightforward. Reverse, neutral, drive, and then it has a manual mode that you can bump it like a ratchet shifter. The wireless charger here works well even with my cell phone case on. You just kind of like, it plops in, and it's angled so it keeps it in place, and it's also rubberized so the phone doesn't slide around on you. So yeah, it's no problem charging at least my cell phone with a big case on it, wallet case. It still works. Here's the armrest, and it's kind of rubbery soft. And it lifts up, and there's a storage compartment in here. Now you notice, I don't know if you've seen my video on, I got a bunch of junk in here, my business cards and stuff. But if you've seen my video on the 2022 model, it had a 12-volt power supply right here, which is not very well designed for things like radar detectors and stuff, because you have to run it in here. It does have a place for wires to go in and out, but still, you know, you don't want to have a wire running from here to the windshield or whatever, right? So they changed it to have a 12-volt power supply here. So that's definitely an improvement. Another thing is they added which the vehicle I drove before in 2022 was a little bit different, but they added a light in the glove compartment, which the other one did not. So we have light in the glove compartment. We have the 12-volt power supply here, and so yeah, also have this Frontier looking nice name. Has an auto dim rear view mirror. There's also a place to put your safety glasses or sunglasses, and it's very large, felt lined as well. Individual lights here. And you turn on all the lights on or off there. So basically this one is all on, all off, and if you want it to have it turn on with the door or not, all you have to do is push it up to off, and then the center is on. So default will be in the center, will be open the door, interior lights turn on. But if you don't want that to happen, just pull it this way. It's not really clear on what, it just says off, you know. So it's not really clear what it means, but that's what it is. This is for the sunroof. I'll show you that in a second. It also has the roadside assistance button there. Now the visor is a cloth material just like the headliner, and it has a mirror but no lights. Extends out and get pretty decent coverage. So here is the sunroof. Now the sunroof has a shade that covers 100% of the light. So we can open that up, press this button here to slide it back. All the way back there. Forward. And if we want to tilt it, we just pull it like we're pushing it forward. It'll tilt up. There we go.